There are two kinds of people in the world. Those who move through life with a quiet, grounded sense that they belong here, that they can meet what comes, that support is available, that they are enough, and those who don't. If you're in the second group, stay here for a moment. The father wound is a pattern of disconnection from your sense of capability, direction, and support in life. It is not just pain about a father figure. It is a lived internal experience of not feeling supported, not feeling guided, not feeling capable of meeting life. It shows up especially when life asks something of you, when action is required, when responsibility appears. Something inside contracts. A quiet but persistent voice begins to speak. This is too much. I don't know what to do. I'm not ready. I might fail. I'm on my own. There's no one to help me. So the body hesitates. The system slows down. The mind overthinks. It is not conscious laziness. It is not a lack of desire. It is fear. Where it comes from. This pattern is not random. It is an energetic memory. A memory of a time when guidance was absent, inconsistent, or unclear. Protection did not feel reliable. Support was not available when needed. Capability was not mirrored or reinforced. Or where there was criticism instead of encouragement. Pressure instead of support. Absence instead of presence. Your young nervous system did not have the capacity to interpret this accurately. So it formed conclusions. It learned, when I step forward, I am alone. When I try, I may fail. When I am seen, I may be judged. There is no one to guide me. These were not conscious decisions. They were adaptations. Your system encoded these experiences as truth. How it lives in you now. From these early experiences, a set of beliefs formed, not as thoughts but as a felt sense. About yourself. I am not capable. I am not competent. I am not ready. I cannot handle life. About the world. Life is demanding. Life will test and expose me. I must prove myself to be accepted. About support. Support is unreliable. I have to do everything alone. Because of this, life is not seen clearly. It is seen through the lens of that energetic memory. So opportunities feel like threats. Responsibility feels overwhelming. Decisions feel high stakes. Visibility feels dangerous. The system is not responding to what is happening now. It is responding to what was. The present moment becomes fused with the past. How it keeps repeating. When your nervous system carries these imprints, it begins to organize your life around them. You may hesitate at key moments. Delay action until pressure builds. Avoid situations where you might be evaluated. Underperform relative to your actual capacity. And then these outcomes seem to confirm. See, I'm not capable. See, I can't handle this. So the pattern deepens. This is not failure. This is pattern reinforcement. The system is trying to resolve an incomplete loop. Am I supported? Am I capable? Is it safe to act? Until this is resolved internally, the same dynamics repeat externally. The missing transmission. There's something else too. Something that wasn't just absent, it was never transmitted. A father is meant to pass something to his child, not through words but through presence. A kind of blessing. A permission slip for existence. A sense that you belong here. That the world has a place for you. That your being is good. When that transmission doesn't happen, you may spend your life looking for it. In bosses, in mentors, in partners, in achievements, in the voice of God. But here's the thing. You can't receive what wasn't given. So you keep trying to extract it from people who don't have it to give, or who can only give versions of it that never quite fill the whole. The deeper truth, if we step beyond the learned pattern and look more deeply, the life that animates you is not incapable. The intelligence that beats your heart, that allows you to think, move, perceive, and act, is inherently directed, responsive, and capable. There is an aspect of you that already knows how to move through life. There is an aspect of you that is not confused, that is not inadequate, that is not alone. This is the awareness that you are. From this perspective, nothing needs to be proven. Nothing is lacking. Capability is inherent. The discomfort you feel is not truth. It is the friction between what you learned to believe and what you actually are. The system says, I can't, while something deeper knows, I already can. This creates tension, hesitation, inner conflict. What this work is for? This work is about resolving that conflict. Not by forcing action, not by pushing harder, but by updating the internal system. We are recontextualizing experiences that were formed under limited capacity, limited understanding, limited support. We are allowing the nervous system to feel what it could not feel then, and introducing new perspectives that were not available then. Because life is not primarily shaped by external control. It is shaped by internal state. Action becomes effective when it arises from regulation and alignment, not from fear. It's how we'll work. In the session that follows, we will simulate the state of hesitation, pressure, self-doubt, feeling unsupported. We bring it into awareness. You remain present, grounded, connected. As the statements guide you, emotions may arise. This is not regression. This is access. You are feeling what a younger part of you felt, the part that formed these conclusions. Now you are not alone in that experience. You are present as an adult, with awareness, with capacity, with choice. You are able to provide what was missing: steadiness, perspective, support. And we also introduce a deeper truth, a perspective beyond limitation, where your worth is not in question. Your capability is not conditional. Your existence is not unsupported. This is not belief. It is recognition. What becomes possible? As the process completes, the activation reduces. The emotional charge softens. The nervous system reorganizes. What once felt overwhelming may now feel manageable. What once felt impossible may now feel accessible. The goal is not to become perfect. The goal is not to eliminate challenge. The goal is to shift from I can't meet life to I can meet life. From hesitation, avoidance, self-doubt, to grounded action, clarity, self-trust. This does not come from forcing. It comes from integration. You can attempt to resolve this pattern through life itself, by repeatedly facing situations that trigger it, often painfully. Or you can work with the pattern directly, in a contained, safe environment, where the system can process without overwhelm. This does not fix everything instantly, but it begins to shift the baseline. A final note before we begin. Depending on your current state, this work may shift things gradually or significantly. Both are valid. What matters is consistency and gentleness, because this pattern was not created in a moment, and it does not need to be forced to resolve. It can be integrated, step by step, So take a slow breath and arrive here. Let the work land where it lands. You do not need to hold it intellectually. Your body knows what to do with this understanding. And when you're ready, we begin. I now recall how this pattern shows up in my life. I often find myself seeking validation from older men or authority figures. I assume that people will eventually leave or become disappointed in me. I have a hard time trusting that I am capable of handling things on my own. I frequently downplay my own achievements or needs to avoid being a burden. I can feel a familiar emptiness or vigilance when I think about family or home. If this resonates, we will now gently connect with the emotional experience behind this pattern. There is a hollow space in my chest where a steady voice should be. I feel small, standing at the bottom of a long staircase. Looking up, his absence is a cold room I keep returning to. Hopping to find warmth. I don't know how to ask for what I need. Because my needs were never seen. My body feels tight, bracing for a criticism that never comes but is always expected. I am performing, trying to be good enough, smart enough, quiet enough to be loved. There is a deep, exhausting vigilance that never rests. I feel a sharp loneliness, like I am on the outside of a life I was meant to belong to. A voice inside says I must figure everything out alone, because no one is coming to help. I am afraid of my own power, because my power was never celebrated, only ignored or tolerated. If this resonates, we will now gently connect with the emotional experience behind this pattern. Let's gently place a hand on the chest or belly and say, even though I carry this deep wound where a father's love should have been, and I feel this familiar emptiness and longing, I acknowledge this experience is arising in my consciousness right now. It is a pattern I learned, not who I really am. I am here now, and I am safe. I don't know why I wasn't enough for him to stay present. Why couldn't he see me? Maybe if I was better, smarter, different, he would have turned around. I feel so alone carrying this all by myself. It's my job to hold everything together, so no one else leaves. I'm so tired of trying to earn a love that should have been free. Notice how this feels in your body. I'm angry that I still care so much about someone who wasn't there. I hate this part of me that keeps hopping, keeps waiting. Breathe into the heaviness. I just wanted him to be proud of me. I wanted him to see me, just once, and say I was enough. Maybe if I shrink myself, my needs won't be such a problem. I feel like a ghost in my own life, unseen by the one person who was supposed to look. Let the body soften a little. I'm scared that this emptiness means I am fundamentally unlovable. I'm so used to the absence that presence feels unsafe. I notice my mind trying to make sense of it all, to find a reason for the pain. It hurts to realize I've been parenting myself my whole life. I just want to rest, but the vigilance won't let me. Breathe into the heaviness. I am the little one, still standing at the bottom of the stairs. Waiting. I see myself waiting, and my heart breaks for that little one. I notice that even this sadness is just an experience happening within me. I can stay here with this without needing it to go away. The awareness holding this pain is steady and unharmed. I am not collapsing into this feeling. I am simply present with it. Underlying beliefs. Perhaps I believe that love is something I have to earn through performance and quiet compliance. It is possible I hold a core belief that I am fundamentally alone and must rely only on myself. There may be a hidden assumption that if I show my true needs or power, I will be abandoned. I might carry an old belief that there is something inherently wrong with me, which is why I wasn't chosen or seen. It could be that I believe safety lies in being small and unnoticed. The ego may be playing a familiar role of the self-sufficient one, to avoid the risk of ever needing someone again, while simultaneously seeking out unattainable figures to replay the original wound. This pattern of seeking validation from distant authorities is a ghost from the past. The outdated identity I have been carrying is that of the unseen child, the one who waits patiently and hopes quietly, a structure that once protected me from the pain of rejection, but now keeps me from stepping into my own authority and claiming my place in the world. Adult self, gently turn toward your inner child. I'm sorry to my inner child who had to stand at the bottom of the stairs alone. I'm sorry you learned to make yourself small, because no one made space for you. I'm sorry you had to become your own parent before you were ready. I'm sorry you are still waiting for a love that was never given. Inner child speaks. It feels softer here with you. Maybe I don't have to wait alone anymore. Adult speaks. I give you permission to heal from this old wound. I give you permission to forgive yourself for believing you were the problem. I release any guilt and shame you carry that was never yours. I honor our journey together through all the silent years. I love you. You are safe to let go of the waiting and simply be yourself. Because I am here now and always to protect you. These feelings of loneliness and longing are passing experiences, not the truth of who you are. Now that we've felt and honored the experience, allow understanding and light to arise naturally. Message from higher self. The absence you felt was never a reflection of your worth. It was simply the limitation of another's capacity. A wound passed down through generations. Your true nature was never touched by that cold room. You are not the child waiting at the bottom of the stairs. You are the vast and loving awareness that can finally turn around. Walk down and hold that child. The fear that you are alone is an illusion born of a time when you were physically small. In truth, you have always been accompanied by the very consciousness that reads these words. Thoughts of unworthiness, the ache of longing, the tightness of vigilance, all of these are simply weather patterns moving through the clear sky of your being. They do not define you. They never could. Rest now in the knowing that you are, and have always been, whole and free, filling the void. I can feel my feet on the ground, even when I don't know what comes next. There is a calm steadiness in my spine that I can lean back into. I move forward one step at a time, feeling my own weight carry me. I can hold this sadness and still choose to engage with my life. The world feels a little more supportive than I learned to believe. The ask, inner child, I give myself permission to feel the desire to be seen. Right here in my chest, without needing anyone to actually see it yet. It is safe to let my shoulders drop and feel my own presence. Just for a moment. Adult self, I choose to stay present with this familiar ache, while also feeling the ground beneath my feet. I can take one small action from my own center, even while my heart feels tender. Higher self, I allow this experience of self-containment to unfold in its own time, without needing to understand or control it. Awareness remains steady and calm, witnessing all of it. The longing, the strength, the breaths, as it simply arises and passes away. Bridge into your new reality. Where there was once a hollow waiting for another's voice, there is now a quiet fullness simply resting in my own company. I notice the difference between the old vigilance, which braced for an absent father, and a new alertness, which is simply the aliveness of being present now. The tightness in my chest is no longer a signal of lack, but a sensation that is simply part of this moment, held in the same awareness as my calm breath. Reclaim your power. I now release the belief that my worth depends on being chosen by those who could not see me. I embrace the wisdom gained from my solitude. and I choose to fully engage with life from my own center. Knowing the self that witnesses this journey is, and always was, untouched and complete. Seeing it done, I imagine myself now, walking through my life with a quiet, grounded sense of my own value. I see myself moving through the world not as the child seeking a father, but as the adult who has become their own source of stability and love. I feel the warmth in my chest as I realize I am no longer waiting. I am simply living, fully present, unconnected. I see myself speaking my truth with calm confidence. My needs no longer a burden, but a simple fact of being human. The world feels larger, more open, and I move through it with a natural ease, belonging simply because I am here. I breathe easily, and the air itself feels like acceptance. I feel a quiet, steady warmth at my core, a home I can always return to. My body knows how to rest, how to trust, how to simply be, without effort or performance. And this new way of being, this gentle self-containment, feels ordinary and safe, like coming home to a room I forgot I had. It is not dramatic or fragile. It is simply how I live now. Now, experience a new future. I am standing in the middle of my ordinary life. There is no one here I need to impress. I feel the ground solid and real under my feet. My breath moves in and out without me having to manage it. I notice a familiar thought drift by. You're on your own here. But I don't grab onto it. I just watch it pass, like a cloud I've seen 1,000 times. My shoulders, for a moment, are not braced for anything. I feel the space around me, and it doesn't feel cold anymore. It just feels like space. I am not waiting for anyone to arrive. I am not performing for an audience that isn't there. I feel my own hand, maybe resting on my leg, and it is simply mine. A feeling rises, not of loneliness, but of being alone in a way that is full. Like a room with just enough light. I take a breath, and I notice I am not looking up the stairs. I am looking forward, at the room I am already in. I feel my own presence, solid and quiet, and it is enough. It is not a dramatic shift. It is a simple, quiet feeling. I notice the vigilance in my body, and instead of fighting it, I breathe into its edges. It softens, just a little. There is no collapse, no relief, just a small, steady release. I realize I am moving through my day from this place. I make a choice, a small one, like what to eat or where to sit. And it feels natural. I don't second guess it. I don't look for someone to validate it. I just move, and my body follows with a quiet ease. A challenge arises, a small one, and I don't feel the old panic. I feel a calm curiosity, a sense of I can figure this out. I trust my own mind to find a way. I trust my own body to carry me through. I feel a warmth in my chest, not from anyone else, but from the simple act of being here, showing up for myself. I am not waiting for a love that should have been. I am living the love that I am. I feel complete, not because everything is perfect, but because I am whole in this moment. I am here, and that is enough. It is more than enough. It is everything. Allow this felt sense to continue integrating naturally in the body and in life. Take a deep breath, feel the shift, and smile. Let this settle gently. There's nothing you need to do right now. You can return to this whenever you feel called. Be gentle with yourself.